This is disappointing. How do I motivate myself? Ever since my high school self realized I couldn't maintain the luxury of a child's metabolism forever, I decided I wanted to get more fit and quit junk food.
Today is March 15th. Okay, so today's March 15th, and I'm really taking a stride to change my lifestyle. I went to the dermatologist today, and there was like a Foster's freeze next door, and all of my friends keep saying how good it was, and I was so close to getting some, but I was like, no, I need to stay within this. I need to be strong.
But the problem of inconsistency unraveled with each attempt to build a healthy lifestyle. Oftentimes, I'd give in to cravings and not get back on track for a while because it was difficult to even get back into that health routine. I frequently blame my lack of motivation for this, but motivation is fleeting. You can't solely depend on that to be consistent. Understanding the basic fundamentals of what drives human behavior can help you utilize them to create lasting change. Everything we do in life is driven by the need to avoid pain or the desire to gain pleasure. Study after study shows that humans will often do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. If you want to change your behavior, change what you link pain and pleasure to. One or two simple associations can change your entire life. So how do you do that? Step 1. Get yourself to feel a certain way and feel it strongly. Step 2. While you feel it, link it to something else. This explains why I love running now. Let me show you.
And I just bursted into tears. I didn't even plan on that, but it's just cause and I just can't do that. I just feel like going to work out because I feel really sad right now. I just want to let it out. And I feel like running might help me with that.
When I started running, I didn't keep track of time. I just ran with the music, and I had a specific song on repeat. I felt a strong emotional relief because quite some time had passed since I cried. As I felt this relief, I ran. What gets fired together gets wired together. I could have just ate cookies, and as I felt relief, I would have created a positive association with cookies and relief. But instead, I ran. I had just created a positive neural association, which explains why I have loved running ever since. And because I listened to that specific song, every time I hear that song, I feel this physical urge in my body to go running. My brain begins making a mental movie of me losing myself in relief and freedom as I run. When you take something challenging and make it an enjoyable experience, this massively increases your chances to do it again in the future. That's because now your brain isn't resisting it, it wants to do it. Now you know that in order to lose weight, you can't overeat. I had a strong feeling of pleasure linked to overeating and pain linked to eating smaller portions. So you have food in front of you. Separate a portion of it that you won't eat. Push the food away and immediately create a mental state of happy feelings by visualizing yourself in the body you are most confident in and consciously make the connection between not finishing everything on your plate and achieving your goal. Repeat this process over and over to strengthen the neural association. Visualization is a powerful cheat code to success. There was a study done in 2009 at Harvard where they brought in piano players to play the piano and they studied what parts of their brains lit up. And when they had them just imagine themselves playing the piano, the same parts of the brains lit up. Numerous studies have shown that the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you're visualizing something, you're actually building neural networks as if that image or experience had already occurred, which is why you can get in such a strong emotional state. I know I should get started on this, but I'd do anything to be somewhere else other than here doing this. Procrastination is understandable because you link pain to this school project. You can change your pain and pleasure associations, but we're going to try something a little different. Let's review two basic principles. Humans will often do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. Whatever you focus on becomes your reality. So when we're in the moment of whether or not to get started on this project, a lot of us ask ourselves, what will be the pain if I take action? But you need to ask yourself, what will be the pain if I don't do it? Focus and visualize this picture in your head. You may end up pulling an all-nighter the night before the project is due, but then you realize you did the project wrong. You text your friend at midnight for help, but he's already gone to bed. You try to figure it out at midnight, stressed, knowing you have to turn this project in 7 hours. 2 hours later, you have a better understanding, but then you realize you're missing an important piece to the project and you have to go to the store. There's no way you're getting a good grade on this. Can you imagine what this would do to your grades? You have to have a talk with your not-so-nice teacher explaining why you did so poorly. Suddenly, your mom's not letting you go out with your friends anymore. Your crush at school finally asks you out to the school dance, but nope, you can't go because you're grounded, so he asks another girl. If you're in high school, this could impact your whole grade, which could affect your plans for college. Imagine your counselor saying, well, honey, you can definitely try to apply for this college, but this grade in this specific class is going to hurt your chances of admission into this school. This all could have been avoided if you had just gotten started. You can also link pleasure to doing the school project with the method shared earlier. Step 1, get yourself to feel really good and feel it strongly. This is kind of silly, but maybe think about your crush. You'll get in a joyous state and then complete the initial task of your project. Don't take on too much in the beginning because you don't want your brain to view this project as a very painful thing. Tell yourself it's just the initial task, that's easy. And as you begin completing the first step while feeling really good, your brain will begin to build this positive association. You need to repeat this in order to strengthen the neuroassociation, otherwise you can lose it. Let's take food as another example. When we're in the moment of whether or not to eat the whole package of cookies, the times you probably gave in were the times you focused on how delicious it would taste. But you need to shift your focus and focus on the pain. Where will you be in 6 months if you continue to overeat? In 1 year? Vividly visualize yourself in 1 year if you continue this behavior. Imagine it so deeply you truly believe that's what's going to happen. One day, you put on a swimsuit and look in the mirror and you don't recognize her anymore. This doesn't fit the way it used to. You don't smile the way you used to. All the battles you've lost with food are completely visible in the mirror. Disappointment isn't even the word I can begin to describe how I felt in this moment. We rarely talk about the painful, rugged, confusing road we took to get here. But I will share with you the full story behind this in the Globe Diary episodes throughout the next few weeks. Everything that has value in life comes from consistency. Success, wealth, relationships, health, and all other aspirations. But consistency doesn't mean perfection. Consistency is winning majority of the time. So for the times you fall, learn to get back on track and get used to it. Because there will be times when you make mistakes, and that's okay. The secret is to learn to forgive yourself and try again. Learn to use pain in pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use you. If you don't do that, then life controls you. This month's choices are next month's results.